It's a picture not seen at Notre Dame Stadium for 21 years. An Irish home game at night as their biggest rival, USC, comes calling. It's the 83rd meeting between the two, who have won a combined 22 national championships. A game that always generates Hollywood-like buzz.
Check, 1, 2. Check, check.
Good afternoon, everyone. Kickoffs for 7:41.
Come on, guys.
This time we'll start with Coach Kelly.
Well, we're back at it. It's a huge game for us against USC. I think we all know about the great games that have been played in the past. Let's get this rivalry back to being a rivalry.
Puts it up on the run. A man is open in the end zone. Touchdown, Southern California.
I think the passion is what makes this a rivalry game.
Down to the goal line. Touchdown.
You can't ride the fence on this one.
You're not feeling it, and you're in the wrong game. You're in the wrong stadium. You're at the wrong schools.
Liner going to try to sneak it ahead. Touchdown, SC!
Intercepted by Notre Dame at the goal line.
We respect each other, but we want to beat each other on the field.
Tomorrow we beat Southern Cal.
There'll be lots of candle power in and out of the stadium tonight as Notre Dame looks for its first home win over the Trojans since 2001. Two programs that exist in vastly different settings but share one common trait: traditional football excellence.
There's going to be a lot of talent out on the field and a lot of guys that want to win.
What we doing in the big, baby?
I'm definitely feeling ready for this week.
We wait however many days we had to wait till we get to play these guys. It's going to be a dogfight for 4 quarters.
It is USC and Notre Dame under the lights at Notre Dame Stadium. What a setting for this storied rivalry. It's a scene to remember for a long time as here come the Irish. Those new helmets that the Irish players are wearing. The fans with their towels to wave, 80,000 of those handed out, and there's the new helmet on Tommy Rees. Simulating the gold of the Golden Dome precisely, according to Coach Brian Kelly. They worked long and hard to get it just right. That's the new look helmet for the Irish. Meanwhile, in the tunnel, waiting their curtain call under the lights, the Trojans, and here comes USC. Coach Lane Kiffin in his second season as the head coach of the Trojans. They are 5-1 as they come in. Matt Barkley, their quarterback, had a spectacular game here as a freshman 2 years ago, nearly 400 yards passing. And with both teams on the field now, let's go to Alex Flanagan with Notre Dame head coach Brian Kelly.
Well, Coach Kelly, the first night game here in 21 years. For the folks watching at home, describe what this atmosphere is like.
Well, it's magical. You know, it's a combination of the fans, but it's also, you know, you got two great football teams and a great rivalry.
You come into this game having won 4 straight, 2 games without any turnovers. How close is this team to being where you want it to be?
I think it's a long way from being exactly where we want. We're just making really good progress. So if you really look at it in the long-term success, we're not there yet, but short-term, we've made some pretty good progress.
All right, Coach, we'll let you get ready for the game. And Tom, Notre Dame still holding on very tightly to its dreams of becoming a BCS team. Of course, they'll have to beat USC tonight to keep those hopes alive.
You're right, Alex. That's the next step, and the Irish pretty much have to win out to achieve those BCS hopes. Tom Hammond, Mike Mayock, ready for the renewal of what has been called the greatest intersectional rivalry in college football. It began in 1926 when, at the suggestion of his wife, Newt Rockne loaded his Irish team on the train, went all the way cross country to play USC, and won that first game, as a matter of fact. There have been so many great games in this rivalry, and I think the setting of tonight ensures that this will be one to remember as well. Now, talking about the game itself, playmakers for the Trojans. You start with their quarterback, Matt Barkley, whom we saw a moment ago.
Yeah, and he's really a difference maker in college football. And Matt Barkley will throw the ball 40 times tonight. He'll probably complete 65 to 70%. What's more impressive to me, Tom, is despite a very average offensive line, he won't throw interceptions and he won't take sacks. Now, it helps to have two highly explosive wide receivers to throw the football to. Robert Woods is an All-American. 60 receptions already. Classic Where's Waldo. You must identify him pre-snap this entire game. If you want to double him, Marquise Lee averages over 16 yards per catch. He's explosive, and bottom line is if you don't tackle, a 5-yard gain will turn into 50 awfully quickly.
And playmakers for Notre Dame, Tommy Rees, their quarterback, after being plagued by turnovers early in the season, has had 2 straight games with 0 turnovers.
Tom, he's kind of growing up in front of our very eyes. I thought the Pitt game was his worst game of the year until the final game-winning drive. He went 8 for 8. Since then, 56 for 81, 8 touchdown passes. Most importantly, no interceptions, no fumbles. And Tom, it's a really simple equation to me. When the Irish don't turn the football over, they win.
All right, in prime time, this is going to be a lot of fun. The Trojans and the Irish. Notre Dame leads the series 43-34-5, but USC has won 8 of the last 10. Notre Dame finally won after losing 8 in a row at the Coliseum last year. Gorgeous day today. The temperature starting to cool off. 58 degrees now, but the fans, as you see, are riled up as we get ready for the kickoff. Notre Dame won the toss, and they will receive the kick to get the game underway. Andre Hadari is set to kick it off for USC. And the deep men for the Irish, George Atkinson, joined by Austin Collinsworth. Here's the kick. It's a short kick taken by Collinsworth. And Austin Collinsworth brings it across the 25-yard line, where the Irish will put it in play. Our starting lineups brought to you by Adidas, the Notre Dame offensive line. And Zach Martin is the leader of that offensive line. Very close, and he is the leader of it on and off the field, Coach Kelly says. And you'll see Michael Floyd, of course. Michael Floyd, the all-time leading receiver for Notre Dame. Now 224 career receptions, 3,100 total yards. So Notre Dame from the 26-yard line. First play from scrimmage. Tommy Rees in the shotgun. Plenty of protection. His pass intended for Michael Floyd is batted away by Nickel Roby. That'll be a matchup to watch all day. Roby 5'8" against the 6'3" Michael Floyd.
I think Nickel Roby's probably their best corner, but you're right, Tom. At 5'8", it's going to be a tough matchup, especially in red zone situations.
Tommy Rees through 6 games, 66% completion, 1,500 yards, 14 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. 2nd and 10. First running play for the Irish. Sierra Wood to the line of scrimmage and not much more.
Really good start defensively for USC. An incomplete pass, a 1-yard run. And what Notre Dame really wants to do is be able to run the football effectively enough to get single coverage on the edges.
Christian Tupou, number 44 there, able to stop up the middle on that play, setting up a 3rd and long for the Irish. See their 3rd down conversions. This one is 3rd and 9. Opening series of the game.
Tommy sees a pressure package. He thinks 18 Dion Bailey's coming. They're both stemming inside and out, both linebackers.
And the blitz comes. Rees hit as he delivers. And off target, intended for T.J. Jones. So successful pressure from the Trojans that time, and it's 3 and out for the Irish.
They bring middle linebacker Chris Calippo right here, along with outside linebackers. Eat up the pass coverage. Gallipo comes free, gets the big hit, and the disconnect between the wide receiver T.J. Jones and the quarterback, and what a great start for USC.
Van Turk sends it on its way to Roby. Nickel Roby backtracks to the 25. Got away from one man momentarily, then dragged down from behind by Steve Filer. Good tackle by Filer. He was going to get some really good yardage. As it was, he returned it 8 yards after the punt covered 48. And our offense for USC, starting lineups brought to you by Adidas. 2-year starter Matt Khalil at left tackle anchors that offensive line. And Woods, 60 receptions, 6 touchdowns, one of the most dynamic receivers in college football. Mark Tyler getting the start despite a shoulder injury. He was listed as doubtful. He is starting. Barkley with a handoff and a big hole for Tyler. Mark Tyler to midfield. First play of scrimmage from the Trojans. Covers 16 yards before Harrison Smith, the safety, makes the stop.
And we talk about where's Waldo. Number 2, Robert Woods lines up with quick motion in the backfield. He'll take a defender with him and then look inside. Nice job on the zone read. Right tackle gets a good block on Aaron Lynch. That's Kevin Graff, and that's a big start for USC.
Curtis McNeel in at tailback now as Tyler goes to the sideline after that good run. Barkley from the shotgun, hands to McNeel. Curtis McNeel backing his way for 3 or 4 yards before he's gang tackled by the Irish. Notre Dame defensive starting lineup. And up front, Aaron Lynch with 3 sacks on the season. And of course, Manti Te'o, almost a Trojan. One of the best linebackers in America. And Gray, after the painful game against Michigan, has played well and has had some of his best games over the years against USC. 2 tight ends for the Trojans. Barkley identifying the middle linebacker. And it's another handoff. This one to McNeel. McNeel will be close to the first down. Looks like he's just short. Matt Barkley passed for nearly 400 yards in his first appearance at Notre Dame Stadium. He started every game since a freshman, was injured in the loss to Notre Dame at USC last year. There's what he has done through the first 6 games of this season.
4 interceptions, only 4 sacks taken in 6 games. He does a great job with the perimeter pass game, getting it out of his hand quickly.
Here's the I formation. Barkley's under center. Tyler's the tailback. It is Tyler with the handoff, picking his way forward and thrown back. It'll depend on his forward progress. Let's see. They're going to give him fairly generous forward progress to see if it's enough for the first down.
Yeah, keep in mind, whether he gets this or not, they may be in 4-down territory. Capron Lewis Moore does a nice job closing in right there underneath, and then finishes it off as Danny Fox over top.
Just short of first down yardage. And it looks like SC is going to go for it. First big moment of this game. Lane Kiffin rolling the dice on 4th and 1, but at the 42 of Notre Dame, sort of a no man's land situation. Play action fake. Barkley rolls. He's being chased. Got away. And Barkley will pick up the first down as he ducks out of bounds across the stripe. Matt Barkley with a ball fake, got free from the rush and picked up the first down.
Yeah, and they wanted Robert Woods deep on a flag route known as a 7 route. The outbreaking and the safety, the corner and the safety did a great job. But watch Shembo as he comes off the edge. Number 55, Shembo right here. He does everything right until right there. He goes for the ball fake. That allows the edge to Barkley. He secures the first down, and that's a 3rd-year junior with 30 career starts making a heady play.
So they go for it on 4th down and convert. Now first down at the Irish 37 with Tyler. Tyler he got 4 yards before he's hit by Manti Te'o. There's a look at Manti Te'o, who the day before he made his decision about college, he would have gone to USC. But we'll tell you the whole story later on. But wound up here at Notre Dame and told us yesterday, no second guesses, no regrets whatsoever. One of the best linebackers in all of college football. 2nd down and 6. Low snap. Barkley picked it up, whips it complete to Woods. First reception for Woods. Got away from 2 men before he's taken down inside the 30-yard line. Teo chasing all the way out there to get Woods to the ground. Very dangerous, of course, after the catch.
Third place we've seen him already tonight in the slot. Now you've got point of attack, number 40 Ellison, and then the tight end out there, the wide receiver Bryce Butler. It becomes 2-on-2 on the edges with the blocker. You throw in a ball carrier like Robert Woods, and it's advantage USC.
Irish fans that are used to seeing Michael Floyd moved all around to disguise his presence can expect the same from the Trojans with Woods. Tyler picks up the first down to the 25-yard line. Mark Tyler already doing a good job despite that dislocated left shoulder he suffered against Cal a week ago. 4 carries, 25 yards.
He'll press the front side, and Khalil 75 does a pretty good job on the backside. If he had gotten just a little more of that block on Capron Lewis Moore, that could have been a huge play for USC.
As it is, it's a first down at the Irish 24. Opening possession for USC.
Empty set. Where's Waldo? He's into the boundary this time, right here.
That's Woods. Low snap. Barkley got it again. No pressure. Now the protection breaks down, and he scrambles again and dives down, slides down at the 20-yard line. So good coverage downfield by the Irish.
You know, Tom, the big thing in college football is a quarterback that understands what he's doing. Bad snap. Watch his footwork and his eyes. Looks back left. Now ducks away from Lewis Nix, gets down the field and slides so he doesn't get hurt. I think he did everything you want to see out of a veteran quarterback. Don't throw an interception in the red zone, get positive yardage, and then let's not get hurt.
Second down and 6 from the Irish 20.
Woods lined up in the backfield this time, going in motion.
Woods in motion. Whip it to him. Gets a block. Hit. Got away from the first hit and stopped short of the 15-yard line. About a 5-yard gain on the play on the wheel route to Woods, who is stopped by Zeke Mata.
Puts a ton of pressure on your corners, this offense does, because everything is perimeter-based. And when you get an athlete with the ball, like Robert Woods, and good blocking out in front, Harrison Smith and the corners have to do a great job. And I really believe Lane Kiffin does a wonderful job of disguising this offensive line. Get the ball out, give them an advantage.
Tyler, the tailback, in the eye. Coming is the fullback. Barkley under center. Third down and 1. Tyler, first down and more. Pounds his way down to the 10-yard line. And a little words spoken afterwards. Tuitt and Teo got Tyler, but not until he sets up a first down for the Trojans.
Sometimes football's pretty basic. Watch what happens with the fullback at the point of attack on Danny Fox. He's going to come into the hole and bang, they attack each other. That's what it's all about. The lead back in the hole. Good job by Danny Fox, but Notre Dame's getting pushed off the line of scrimmage.
First and goal, ball just inside the 10-yard line. Tyler stopped at the 2.
Teo a little frustrated there, Tom.
And you said that the much maligned Trojan offensive line maybe wasn't quite up to snuff so far this opening series. They've looked pretty good.
They sure have. And the defensive line on the first series, now the offensive line on this series. But keep in mind, everything's ball out quickly in the pass game.
Only 3 rushing touchdowns allowed by the Irish all season long. Tyler, the tailback, behind Ellison, the fullback. Now in motion. Barkley's going to throw, and wide open for an easy touchdown is Randall Telfer, the tight end. Randall Telfer with his second touchdown catch of the season, only his 9th reception, and he was absolutely wide open in the Irish end zone.
Here he is right here. Play action fake is going to bring everybody up, and it's too simple. Boom, great job right there. Tosses it over everybody's head. And Tom, that's the 12th receiving touchdown by a tight end for the Trojans this year.
That look says it all in the face of Brian Kelly after USC takes its first possession with a long drive downfield, the touchdown, and now the extra point to be added by Hadari. And it is good. USC, 13 plays, covers 66 yards. And the Trojans break on top 7-0 over the Irish. Notre Dame football is brought to you by United Healthcare, online at uhc.com. By Coca-Cola Zero, real Coke taste and 0 calories. By Discover Card, it pays to discover. And by Toyota. 7-0 Trojans. Pretty 66-yard drive engineered by Matt Barkley. And he hit his tight end for the touchdown, Randall Telfer.
And Tom, of the 66 yards, 60 were on the ground. I really didn't think USC would be able to run the football in this Notre Dame front. So far, both sides of the line of scrimmage dominated after one series each way by USC.
Adari will kick it off to George Atkinson III. Takes it at the 6. Atkinson dodged one man, couldn't get away there, but crossed the 30-yard line to the 32-yard line. So the Irish were 3 and out on their first possession. Second possession coming up for Tommy Rees and Notre Dame when we come back. Let's look at the Miller Lite Taste Greatness. Last year, Notre Dame snapped an 8-game losing streak to USC as Tommy Rees found Michael Floyd in the second quarter, giving the Irish a 7-3 lead. Robert Hughes ran it in from 5 yards out with just over 2 minutes left to put Notre Dame ahead 20-16. And then Harrison Smith sealed the victory with an interception at the goal line with just over 30 seconds left. And Notre Dame in the rain at the Coliseum broke that 8-game losing streak to USC. Brian Kelly, the first Notre Dame head coach to beat USC in his first season since Lou Holtz did it back in 1986.
And SC fans would tell you Barkley didn't play, and neither did Tyron Smith, the 9th overall pick in the draft.
Second possession for the Irish. Pass complete to Sierra Wood. Wood, elusive with his first move, makes it to the 40-yard line. And here are our Adidas starting lineups for the USC defense, with Nick Perry, 16 career sacks from that defensive end spot. Bailey is the top tackler. And in the secondary, McDonald is the leader, the son of an SC All-American, Tim McDonald.
Speaking of McDonald, he's back here as a single high safety. They're nowhere near the Monty Kiffin Tampa 2 so far. I think they're going to start to try to challenge the corners of USC coming up.
This looks like an option, and it is. The pitch to Jonas Gray, hit behind the line, managed to lower his head and get back close to the line of scrimmage before he's gang tackled, and then some by the Trojans. Nick Perry, the first to hit him, and it'll be a loss on the play.
Tommy Rees doesn't run option for a reason, and Dion Bailey, who's slow playing this, watch number 18 right here. He's going to slow play this, and he covers both. Tommy flips it too early, and it allows one defender to cover 2 people. So a really good job by Dion Bailey, but that's why Tommy Rees doesn't run option.
And the net result is a 3rd down and 4 for the Irish.
And again, single coverage on the edges.
Tommy Rees looks, finally found an open man. It's Wood, but Wood stopped on a sure open field tackle at the 40-yard line, well short of first down yardage. And again, USC forces Notre Dame 3 and out.
Tom, they buzzed the linebacker underneath Michael Floyd, and he came off. Watch the linebacker buzz underneath the route. And Tommy gives up on him. There it is. The defensive end drops off, but look what happens. He breaks the route, and if Tommy had stayed with him just a little bit longer, it's 6 points.
In Turk in punt formation with Robert Woods deep this time for the Trojans. Nice punt from Turk. Woods has to backpedal all the way to his 11-yard line. Shook one man. Got the angle on another. Got a block. Now to the sideline and out of bounds around the 40-yard line. Excellent return by Woods. You see how dangerous he can be. A 36-yard return after the punt had boomed 48. Trojans ball when we come back. Notre Dame Extra on NBCSports.com, where you can see all the action, including an online-only bonus camera, in-game highlights, live coverage of the halftime bands, and an online-only post-game show. Go now to NBCSports.com/IndyExtra, presented by Mercedes-Benz. You might want to also check out Inside the Irish on that website for an update on the recruiting weekend. The Irish have a huge class of hopeful recruits coming in. 56 of the top players in America here to see the game tonight. First down, play action fake, and Matt Barkley fires and has a man open at the 45. It's Marquise Lee. Marquise Lee, who has a right shoulder injury. In the pregame warmups, he had to go back in to check and adjust the padding. But here's his first catch of the game for 18 yards.
Slaughter gets a piece there, but he breaks it out, gets Blanton turned around, throws a little bit high, but we talked about Marquise Lee in our open. This kid's got a vertical leap of about 40. He's one of the most exciting true freshmen in the country, and boy, is he dangerous once he catches the football.
Freshman from Inglewood, California, 6 feet, 190 pounds. Another first down, and again the Trojans in Irish territory. Set up the screen to Woods. Woods using his blockers and getting a break to the 25-yard line. Stopped by Harrison Smith, who saved a touchdown. So they get 18 yards to Lee. Now 19 yards to Woods. They are dominating Notre Dame.
And I call Rhett Ellison, number 40, a point of attack player. Watch him come in motion right here, and he'll attack and make the key block on the edge. They want to get the football to number 2, Woods, as often as possible. There's the block on the edge on the corner, Gary Gray. Way too simple for Robert Woods to read that, get in the crease, and make a big game.
Barkley's 4 for 4 for 43 yards, including the touchdown. He's going to pass again and has another completion. It's the tight end, Grimble. And Gary Gray stops him. So Barkley now 5 for 5.
And Tom, if this was a basketball game, and you're a big basketball fan, right?
Yep.
If this is a basketball game, the coach is going timeout. Let's get over here and collect ourselves, because everything's going the wrong way. Typically in football, you can't do that. Brian Kelly's defense, Bob Diaco's defense, is being shredded right now. They're running the football effectively, and that short, controlled passing game is winning at the point of attack.
Second down and 4 after a good gain on first down. That means we can run it with Tyler. And then Tyler will pick up another Trojan first down.
You know, Rhett Ellison, number 40, is not a flashy guy, Tom. But at the point of attack in this football game, he's a pretty special player. And again, right here, when you follow 40, you're going to find the football.
Plays fullback and sometimes tight end from Portola Valley, California, St. Francis High School, where he was a linebacker and tight end.
Yeah, I apologize. That was Ross Cumming, the backup fullback and linebacker.
Yeah, it was 46 instead of
Either
40.
way, it was an ISO block on the backer.
They're both pretty good. Cumming did a good job earlier, too. Tyler dancing his way, still on his feet, inside the 5-yard line of the Irish. Be close to another first down.
You know what, Tom? I got him wrong last time, but we're going to go right back to Rhett Ellison, whose father, Ricky, played here at USC. And this time at the point of attack on the line of scrimmage as a tight end. This kid is really special as a point of attack blocker. I don't care if you line him up at slot, at fullback, or on the line of scrimmage. Here he is right here. Look at the fight he has all the way through on Prince Shembo, the outside linebacker. Point of attack football player. And alert right here, number 8, the freshman's in the game, George Farmer.
Barkley for the end zone, again wide open, no contest. Robert Woods for the touchdown. That is his 7th receiving touchdown of the season.
And I love the play action fake toss sweep to the freshman tailback, and then coming back in the back of the end zone to Robert Woods. Here's Woods in a tight bunch set right here. Barkley with a quick fake. And now watch him sit it down, because Teo continues to expand. He throws it behind Teo. That's a smart quarterback and a very intelligent sophomore wideout. But Tom, a very subtle fake to that tailback, because remember, he's a freshman and he's not in there to block. He's either going to get it fake or they're going to hand him the ball.
Kadari's extra point is through the uprights. Another long drive, 62 plays. This one only took 6 plays as Woods made the touchdown reception from Matt Barkley. Barkley's second touchdown pass of the first quarter. Looks like the Trojans like prime time. Barkley, number 7 there on the SC bench, has 2 touchdown passes here in the first quarter and now 3rd all-time at USC. The Trojans have had 2 possessions, 2 touchdowns, both Barkley touchdown passes. The Irish have had 2 possessions and amassed a total of 9 yards. Hadari with a kickoff. Atkinson gathers it in at the 6. Found a little seam. Flag is down as he crosses the 30 and the 35-yard line. This will be the first penalty of the game. Referee is Land Clark from the Pac-12.
Yeah, this one's going to come back. I think Bennett Jackson probably had a block in the back.
During the return, illegal block in the back on the receiving team, number 2. That penalty will be enforced half the distance to the goal from the spot of the foul. First down.
So Jackson was called for the illegal block in the back. Everything going wrong for the Irish. The Golden Dome of the administration building in the Notre Dame night, and look at the dominance by USC so far.
Wow. Total yards 128-9, and this Notre Dame team has routinely churned up over 500 yards against opponents.
1st and 10 line brought to you by Xerox. Irish have yet to pick up a 1st and 10 and start here from their 8-yard line with a hand to Jonas Gray. Tackled by Devin Kennard.
Gray, the big power back, 230+ pounds, really good feet. And Tom, he's one of those guys where it's taken a while for the light to come on, and they've always seen the potential, but he's always kind of fumbled it, been put in the bench. But this year he's really put it together after that first fumble against South Florida.
Final half minute of the first quarter. Reese with a pass caught by Floyd, nowhere to go.
Ball came out late. Only about 3 Trojans all over Michael Floyd, huh, Tom? Think there's a game plan there?
Surrounding him like a swarm of bees, led by T.J. McDonald. And that'll end the first quarter. Total domination by the Trojans on both sides of the football in the first quarter under the lights at Notre Dame Stadium. Notre Dame trailing 14-0. We'll return to Notre Dame Stadium after these messages from your local NBC station. You're watching Notre Dame football on NBC. Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. Everything we've learned making tires that go the distance inspires what we roll into yours. Goodyear, more driven. Well, Notre Dame, after completing the first quarter without a 1st down to 8 for SC, outgained 128-14, now facing a 3rd and 5 deep in their own territory. SC shows blitz. Now back out of it. Reese, good protection. Fires a strike in between defenders that's incomplete. Robbie Toma couldn't hang on. Boy, no, he did catch it. He did catch it. Excuse me. I thought he said no. What he was signaling was 1st down. Timeout. This clock stops for 1st down.
Reese did a nice job here. He wanted Michael Floyd this way. Safety went over the top. He comes back to Toma, fits it in between 2 linebackers, and a really good job by Tommy Reese coming back to the near side, hitting Toma, because remember, they're running bodies at Michael Floyd.
3rd reception of the season for Toma results in a 1st down. The initial 1st down. Now going deep for Floyd. Contact, no flag. Nickel Roby and Michael Floyd. A lot of contact, no flag down.
And Tom, you know me, I'm a former D-back. I give you a lot of leniency on defensive pass interference, but I thought this contact came early. Nickel Roby right here, bail technique, 6'3" against 5'8". There's some contact there. No call. There's the push right there.
Obvious pass interference,
and when
no call.
Yeah, you put that left arm in his armpit, it doesn't allow him to jump. It negates his height advantage. That has to be a pass interference right there.
2nd down and 10. Draw play. Jonas Gray. And Gray in a nice run. He'll pick up the 1st down. 11 yards on on the play for Jonas Gray. Irish first down. TJ McDonald stopped the big fella.
And he came from a wing position, and the key block by 78 right guard Trevor Robinson at the second level. Lowers his pad level. Really good job off an interior twist stunt by USC, and Trevor Robinson picked it up. Jonas Gray did the rest.
Back-to-back first downs for the Irish after going the entire first quarter without a single first down. This is a toss to Riddick. Theo Riddick knocked to the turf by Roby. 6-yard gain.
Pretty important drive here, Tom, for Notre Dame. You're down 14-0 on the kickoff. You get a penalty for a push in the back that starts you on the 7-yard line. If you're forced, remember the 3rd and 5 play where they hit Toma. If you don't make that play, you're punting from your own end zone. So it's critical just from a field position perspective to continue to push this ball down the field. Obviously, you want points, but it's critical from a field position perspective.
Kind of upping the tempo a bit, too, it appears, as Reese is in the shotgun. And a false start penalty against the Irish. So that'll kill your momentum in a hurry.
False start on the offense, number 75. A 5-yard penalty, second down.
Taylor Dever with a false start.
And on that last snap, the Irish had Michael Floyd by himself into the boundary. Remember, in college football, the boundary and the field are two big things because of the location of the hash marks. I really think Notre Dame offensively does a great job of moving him around and forcing you to make some decisions. Nikel Roby's over him right now, and so is safety TJ McDonald.
Jonas Gray. Good reaction by the Trojan defense to stop him after a short gain.
It's tough to make that throw when the safety's over the top, because Floyd does a nice job with the crackback block, but TJ McDonald's standing right there. Here he is. Floyd will come in from this side, but now you've got an unblocked All-American safety. Chris Calippo gets there. There's not a whole lot to be made out of that play.
3rd down and long.
Floyd again down the bottom. Does the safety come over the top, or is it true one-on-one?
Reese looks the other way and completes the pass. Sierra Wood appears to be no. Now they say wave it off, no good. He was going to be short of the first down anyway, I believe.
And that happened to be one where there was a single on the outside on Michael Floyd, but a good throw to Wood. USC doing a great job on defense.
Sierra Wood holding his arm in a funny way after he took that hit and leaves the field. So Ben Turk's 3rd punt toward Woods. He calls for a fair catch and makes it at the 24-yard line. 41-yard punt with no return. 3rd possession coming up for the Trojans. They scored on their first 2. Notre Dame football is brought to you by Verizon 4G LTE, America's fastest, most reliable 4G network. By the G-Series, Prime, Perform, Recover. By ADT Security Services, always there. And by the all-new Volkswagen Passat. That's Das Auto. Tom Hammond, Mike Mayock, Alex Flanagan, with our producer Rob Hyland and director Andy Rosenberg. Sierra Wood swinging that left arm after he appeared to be favoring a bit coming off the field. Here's the first down play from the Trojans. Telfer, who caught a touchdown pass from Barkley earlier, takes that reception for a good gain on first down.
Redshirt freshman at 6'4", 230, much better receiver than he is a blocker. This is just a slow release. Bang on the contact, then release out into the flat. Well done. Drop your shoulder pad level and get yardage.
12 yards to be exact. First down Trojans. They continue to churn up the yardage against the Irish defense. Fake to McNeel. And Barkley on target again. And again with a lot of room to throw. It's caught by Lee.
And I love the timing on this route. Barkley, who's a junior quarterback, throws it over Calabrese in front of the defensive back. Watch Calabrese try and get underneath this route. Play action holds him just for a second. It's a quarter roll. Puts it on him. In between Calabrese and the safety Harrison Smith. Tom, Barkley, the junior quarterback, is on fire. And this is what a veteran quarterback can do at the collegiate level.
22 yards back into Irish territory. First down at the 45. Again, a play action fake, and Barkley's going deep. Going for Lee. He makes a diving attempt, but it's incomplete. Defended by Robert Blanton.
They're going to take 4 to 6 vertical shots off play action every game they play, and the guy they want on that is either Lee or Woods. Does a nice job. He's going to widen, takes them inside, then widens them to give quarterback a little bit of an angle. Now the quarterback should throw it away because there's, throw it to the middle of the field without a free safety in the middle. It's just overthrown. Good coverage by Blanton.
First miss by Barkley. He'd hit his first 8. McNeel. Curtis McNeel. Right at the first down marker, tackled by Tuitt. See on the spot of the football will be just short of the first down. Tommy Rees trying to get some answers. So far the offense has been stymied and the defense has been porous.
And let's give USC some credit, especially up front. McNeel there is only 5'7", but look at the average, 7 yards per carry.
Toss to McNeel. Shook a would-be tackler in the backfield and made it back close to first down yardage.
Does that take you back a little bit, Tom? The old student body right or left, huh? Student body left, the toss sweep to Curtis McNeel. Go back to Marcus Allen. You can go back to O.J. Simpson. You can go back to all the famous players in the history of this rivalry. They all ran that particular play.
Stopped a yard short of the first down by Darius Fleming. So on fourth down, it appears that USC will go for it. 4th and 1 at the 36-yard line of the Irish. Desperately need a stop.
Barkley getting them up very quickly. Remember last time it was play action, 4th and 1.
This is Tyler thrown back. Cameron Lewis Moore at the bottom of that Irish stack. And the Notre Dame defense has held. The ball goes over to the Irish.
And the center and the left guard get banged right back into the backfield. Cameron Lewis Moore cleans it up, but Sean Swinar on the nose tackle also did a great job.
Big play by the Irish defense. Let's see if that can ignite their offense. Notre Dame ball when we return. Sunday night is football night. Don't miss America's Game of the Week as Drew Brees and the Saints host the Colts on Sunday Night Football. Bob Costas hosts Football Night in America live from New Orleans. Coverage begins at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, only on NBC.
Got tough duty for that quarterback, Curtis Painter, who I think he's been hanging in there for Indianapolis despite all the injuries on that revamped offensive line.
Notre Dame defense holds on 4th and 1. Now the Irish take over. Reeves. Pass complete. Theo Riddick makes the catch.
Wow. People say Tommy Rees doesn't have arm strength. That was an arm strength throw against good coverage by Dion Bailey, the outside linebacker.
Riddick matched up with a linebacker, goes for 9 yards.
Far hash throw with good coverage. If that ball's not thrown on a line on that angle, Bailey will undercut it and score.
Here's Andrew Hendricks, the sophomore quarterback, who saw his first action in their last game against Air Force. Hand is off to Sierra Wood. You see where the forward progress will be. It'll be close to the first down. Hayes Pillard made the tackle for the Trojans.
Obviously, Tom, when Hendricks comes in the game, remember his first action against Air Force, 4 for 4 throwing, but more importantly, big game running the football. He's their change of pace guy. They'll run option, they'll run play action, zone read, anything that causes defense problems with the quarterback running the football.
First down, Notre Dame. Hendricks will keep. Wrapped up after a yard and a half. Hendricks, the sophomore from Cincinnati, 6'2", 220 pounds. Didn't play last year and did not play this season until the Air Force game when he came in and had, as you saw a moment ago, 111 yards rushing, including that 78-yarder where he kind of ran out of gas in the last 2 yards, took a lot of ribbing from his teammates.
Tommy Reese said the quarterback room was pretty funny that day.
Makes the fake and passes, and it's batted and incomplete. They made a try at the interception. Batted down at the line of scrimmage by Nick Perry.
What they're trying to do is get Hendricks out wide off play action. They had Michael Floyd, but watch Perry elevate right there. They do a great job getting in the way of the throwing alleys. When we talked to Tommy Reese, he said he had to do 2 things. Eye discipline and also find an alley, and that time Hendricks did not find a throwing alley.
3rd and long, and Tommy Reese returns. Reese stands in the pocket, delivers the pass, and Floyd had so much green in front of him. I don't know what the misread was, but he had at least 5 yards of cushion.
Yeah, obvious.
McNeel Roby.
Obvious disconnect with him and his quarterback, because Tom, you called it exactly correct. 21, Mikel Roby's going to bail. There's no underneath coverage. He breaks it off. Tommy Reese thought he was going to keep going. Really been off sorts for the Irish tonight offensively.
And Turk's 4th punt of the game, low line drive to Woods. Made the first man miss, but not the second. Taken down as Notre Dame again forced to punt. Austin Collinsworth made the special teams tackle. Trojans ball when we come back to Notre Dame. 14-0 Trojans, led by Matt Barkley, the latest in a line of stellar quarterbacks at USC and high draft choices as well. Carson Palmer, the Heisman Trophy winner in 2002. Matt Leinart took it in 2004. And of course, Mark Sanchez, who led the Pac-10 in total offense, now plying his trade with the New York Jets. And Barkley, 5th in total offense and completions at USC. You see that Carson Palmer, the first man drafted, Leinart 10th, Sanchez 5th, and Barkley will have a decision to make at the end of this season to see if he'll announce for the NFL draft. He completes that pass to Brandon Carswell. Carswell with a good game on 1st down. Matt Barkley, known as much for his charitable endeavors as for his football. And what would you assess about his draft prospects if he does decide to come out at the end of his junior year?
Well, here's the deal, Tom. First of all, we don't know what junior quarterbacks or underclass quarterbacks will declare, and that'll have an impact. He's a 3rd-year junior. In my opinion, when you look at some of the other quarterbacks around the country, he's having a big night tonight, but I think he's going to wait till December and sit down with his family and make a decision. It's going to be tough to come back with sanctions on the program now.
Throws the slant to Carswell for a 1st down as they cross the 45-yard line. Robert Blanton the tackle after 14 yards. Alex?
Hey, Tom, you watch Matt Barkley operate on the sidelines. He has such a calm demeanor, such a veteran quarterback. Remember Lane Kiffin telling us earlier in the week, too, that he thinks that his quarterback would be in the Heisman race right now, would be at the top of people's mind talking about him as a quarterback if it hadn't been for the sanctions that have been placed on USC.
Well, he passed for 380 yards here as a freshman. He's on his way there tonight. 10 of 11, 105 yards, 2 touchdowns. Here's another pass upcoming, and he whips it deep down the field, and his receiver Woods fell down. Well, Alex mentioned those sanctions, and well known with issues of agents and amateurism. USC hit with some devastating sanctions, 4 years of probation, postseason ban for 2 years, vacated the record, and maybe the most hurtful of all, limiting the scholarships. And that really depletes things for Lane Kiffin and his staff. They have to almost rebuild. And add to that the fact that when the sanctions were announced, the juniors and seniors were allowed to transfer without having to sit out a year, and many did.
They lost 6 to 8 quality football players who would have added to their depth.
Hand off to Tyler. To midfield. Knocked down by Prince Shimbo.
It was fun talking to Barkley earlier this week in Los Angeles. And, you know, he mentioned he spoke to Carson Palmer. There's a fraternity to these USC quarterbacks. If you can get into this club, it's a pretty cool club to belong to. He talked to Palmer on Tuesday. He threw with them all summer along with Leinart and Sanchez. You know, if you get into that USC quarterback club, you certainly get into the 1st round conversation.
Third down. Fans trying to help the defense. Play action fake. Barkley under pressure. Got rid of it. Incomplete. So that time the Irish get pressure intended for Mark Tyler and incomplete. And now flags are down.
Wow. This is what I meant, Tom, in the open about this young man not taking sacks. I love this about him.
Darius Fleming putting the pressure on Barkley. Late flags.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct on the defense, number 44. A 15-yard penalty with an automatic first down.
And Carlo Calabrese, yeah, hearing it from Coach.
Yeah, I wouldn't take my helmet off right there, Carlo. But Barkley in the pocket, I've been really impressed with on tape. Play action, it doesn't matter. There's a free rusher right there in Fleming all over his feet. He gets rid of the football. He doesn't care if it's complete. No sacks, no interceptions. Now there's Carlo standing over him, and Tom, is that taunting? A little bit, but to me it's more exuberance.
I think it's taunting. I think it's the right call. I think it's ridiculous. First down, 34-yard line. The Irish had him stopped. Now the SC drive continues. Draw play handoff to McNeel. Gets to the 30-yard line before Lewis Nix takes care of business.
But Lewis Nix down 370 pounds when he was a true freshman here at USC. About 330 right now.
There's Nix, who is from Jacksonville, Florida, had committed to Miami. He had never heard of Notre Dame. Changed his mind. He made a visit and was talked into it by his advisor and made a visit and had camaraderie from the start of his visit and decided to come here. McNeel appears to have another first down. Manti Te'o wrapped him up. Remember, this is a drive that was stopped. It was going to be a punting situation for the Trojans, but the taunting penalty on Calabrese keeps the drive alive. Look at the offense, 206 yards to 54. And the Trojans threatening again from the 23 of the Irish. Low snap. Barkley picks it up, hands it off to McNeel. McNeel has been a workhorse on this drive. Not only a yard or so before he's thrown back, and there's another flag. Things getting a little testy down on the field.
After the play, personal foul, face mask on the offense, number 75. A 15-yard penalty, and that will count. Second down.
Matt Khalil with a face mask. That was a costly penalty against the Trojans now.
Khalil, another young man with a decision about whether or not to turn pro at the end of this year. Here he is down here with Fleming. Once you put your hand anywhere up near the face mask, they're going to call a penalty.
Fleming had to retrieve his mouthpiece after that shot from Khalil. The penalty sits the ball back at the 38-yard line. On 2nd and 25, Barkley pumps one way, now goes along across the middle, and a vicious hit on Carswell, who made the catch, and there's a flag down. That was a helmet-to-helmet hit by Jamar Slaughter.
Big hit there, and Manti Te'o did a nice job originally holding off the receiver there, not letting him get into the seam. What a big hit by Slaughter on Carswell.
The ruling on the field is incomplete pass. Personal foul, targeting above the shoulders on the defense, number 26. A 15-yard penalty will be enforced 15 yards from the previous spot. Automatic first
So the
down.
pass incomplete, but listen to the hit by Jamar Slaughter, which drew the penalty. That's dangerous. Helmet to helmet hit. Another correct call.
Anytime you drop the crown of your helmet, watch Slaughter drop the crown of his helmet. He takes a hit also.
Yep.
And that's dangerous not only for the receiver, but for the defensive back also. You can't drop the crown of your helmet and make a tackle.
First down, USC, 23-yard line of the Irish. Bouncing off tacklers, McNeel gets to the corner and finally will be ridden out of bounds. And a nice run by Curtis McNeel, and it was Slaughter that had to come up and finally nudged him out of bounds. 21-yard gain.
Manti Te'o had a sure tackle at the line of scrimmage. See him right here. This usually doesn't happen with Te'o. There's the handoff. He's got him right there. Wrap it up. He dropped his head. Good cutback and really good strength by McNeel. He's only 5'7". You got to get real low on McNeel because he's a lot stronger than you think for his size. Quicker than fast, and explosive little guy.
Now from the 10-yard line, SC first down. Barkley, back foot throw intended for Woods, who was well out of bounds. Looked like Barkley just threw that one away.
He did, Tom. And Gary Gray, the much maligned corner, had really good coverage on their best wide receiver. And as we've talked about all game long, Matt Barkley, if he thinks he can't win the war, he's going to get out of the battle. Throw it away.
There is Gary Gray. Bob Diaco is coach, the defensive coordinator, praising him and the relationship those two have to us yesterday. Said on the Monday after the Michigan game, so hurtful that he was the same guy. Had to turn off his Twitter account because of all the vicious things coming in, but here he is and has resumed with good play. Timeout SC. 4:09 left, threatening to add to their 14-0 lead. Golf Channel's hit reality series Big Break Ireland returns Tuesday night for an all-new episode, and one lucky viewer will have a chance to go to the Emerald Isle and cheer on Notre Dame. Go to golfchannel.com and enter the keyword for your chance to win. 4:09 left till halftime. 2nd and 10 for the Trojans from the Notre Dame 10, already leading by 14. Barkley fakes, hit as he delivers a pass incomplete intended for Ellison. Gary Gray defending Ellison, and the pressure.
Well-designed play. They're trying to sneak him out of the backfield. There's Gray coming from behind off the corner, backside of Barkley, and there he is right down the chute. Well-designed play. If you had a little more time, I think that's a touchdown.
Corner blitz by Gray.
Catch the football. You know, that's a heck of a throw with that kind of pressure and that kind of hit. Typically, Red Ellison catches that ball all day long.
So 3rd down. 3rd and 10 for USC from the 10-yard line of the Irish. Approaching the 4-minute mark in the first half. And SC will take another timeout. So with 4:05 on the clock, Matt Barkley goes over to talk to his head coach and the offensive guru, Lane Kiffin, in his 2nd season at SC and in his 3rd season as a college head coach. And the big build-up, the prime time under the lights and everything else, such a great atmosphere. And SC has taken advantage of that right from the start of the game.
They really have. I'm stunned by their ability to run the football, number one. Over 100 yards rushing already. And the junior quarterback is as advertised, as is Robert Woods.
So they've taken the Notre Dame atmosphere and sort of turned it against them. 67 yards on this drive already. This is the 13th play. Barkley in trouble, chased, found an outlet, and in a one-on-one move, Robert Woods able to get free, but bring up a 4th down.
And again, that's a quarterback protecting a field goal. He didn't take any of the shots down the field. He was concerned about interceptions. He checks it down at the last minute. He protects the 3 points. And trust me, Monty Kiffin, the defensive coordinator, is very proud of his son for protecting those points.
So Andre Hadari, the freshman from Bakersfield, who's hit 10 of 11 field goals this season, will attempt a 25-yarder. From 25. Kick is up, and it is good. So a long drive by the Trojans, aided by a couple of penalties against Notre Dame, results in 3 points. 17-0. Now it's time for Mercedes-Benz top performances. The last night game played at Notre Dame Stadium was September 15th, 1990 against a vaunted Michigan team. A Tony Brooks touchdown gave Notre Dame a 14-3 lead. Elvis Gerbach hit Desmond Howard to put the Wolverines up 10 entering the fourth quarter. But Notre Dame rallied. Rick Meyer found Adrian Gerald with an 18-yard touchdown strike with 1:40 remaining to win the game 28-24. And head on over to NBCSports.com/Mercedes for more top performances. So under the lights for the first time in 21 years. Special scene, expected to pump up the Irish. And instead, Trojans have turned the tables thus far. Atkinson returns the kick. And Atkinson with a nice return. Now breaks to the sideline. Got by the kicker. And now racing down the sideline. Atkinson for the touchdown. 96 yards. George Atkinson has suddenly lit a fire under Notre Dame. Atkinson had an 89-yard kickoff return against Michigan State. Now he goes for 96 against USC. And that quickly the game has changed complexion. Here's Ruffer on to attempt the point after. Ruffer has hit all 23 of his point after attempts, make it 24 in a row. And George Atkinson III with a scintillating 96-yard return.
And Justin Utopo, number 50. If you look at the hit right there, and that's a knockout blow at the point of attack. Another cutback. And remember, Atkinson is a Southern California kid who was considering Notre Dame and USC. He and his brother Josh both decided to come to Notre Dame. Second huge play of the year, and what a momentum shift generated by Utopo and Atkinson.
Atkinson's dad, of course, the all-pro defensive back, 20 years with the Oakland Raiders. His twin brother Josh on the team. Once he got that little seam and the kicker made a stab at him, couldn't get him. Remember, he was third in the state 100-meter dash in California, and you weren't going to catch him. George Atkinson. Now we'll see if the defense can take a little lift from the points going on the board. They were given on the way in tonight. Playing the loud music between plays, trying to get everybody excited. And Kyle Brenza has it teed up to kick off for Notre Dame. And finally the fans have something to cheer about. Farmer and McNeel are deep. Squibbs into the end zone for the touchback. So the Trojans take over at the 20-yard line after Atkinson took it 96. Coming up, the Discover Card halftime report. Liam McHugh, Doug Flutie in our New York studio with scores and highlights from around college football. And Mike Florio and Peter King will join them with all the news and notes from around the NFL. That'll come from our studio at 30 Rock, the GE building, Midtown Manhattan.
A lot of noise now all of a sudden for USC to have to deal with on offense.
Play action fake. Barkley hit as he delivers the pass. and it floated its way to Woods, complete. 18 yards.
Boy, what a huge cushion here with Gary Gray. Look how deep he is, and then he's going to bail out of there. Even though the arm is hit at the line of scrimmage, look how deep he is. There's the break. He's still in his back pedal. 7 yards off. Barkley's arm was hit. The ball flew up in the air, and he still couldn't close the cushion. You got to play that tighter.
1st and 10 line brought to you by Xerox. Aaron Lynch was putting the pressure on Barkley that last time, but still the completion. Here's a toss to Farmer. Farmer in the backfield. Made a nice cut. Has 11 or 12 yards and a 1st down. Jamorris Slaughter somersaulted him to the turf.
One of their favorite plays, Tom, is to crack the wide receiver and let their big left tackle, Matt Khalil, pull out and get on a little body. Khalil, remember, 6'7", 295 pounds, student body left. Blanton wants no parts of that. He doesn't even have to get him because Blanton runs himself out of the play.
Farmer, the highly touted 5-star freshman from Los Angeles, with his biggest game of his SC career. Barkley lays it up for Woods. Can't quite get there, incomplete. Blanton running with him. Had inside position. And the pass goes over the head of Robert Woods from Matt Barkley.
And I don't think you really want to isolate Woods on either Blanton or Gray or even Marquise Lee one-on-one too often. You can't sit in the same zone all day long, but there's certainly a speed advantage over the Notre Dame corners.
Just over 2 minutes to go in the first half. 2nd down and 10.
Tom, you mentioned Farmer, the freshman. He split out wide. This guy runs 10-2.
Low snap. Had a lot of those tonight. Barkley's pass low, intended for Lee, and looked like it went through the legs of a couple of players, including Darius Fleming of Notre Dame.
Good job exploding this play before it could happen. Watch Gray attack. Both of them attack. That's an excellent job. Both Gray and Fleming reading the bubble, attacking it immediately, and destroying the integrity of the play.
Well, with the defense stiffen after getting a lift from Atkinson's kickoff return, here's a 3rd and 10 for them to find out.
Okay, let's see if Diaco brings some pressure. 4-man rush.
Draw play. McNeel. Stopped well short of the 1st down. Stephon Tuitt makes the hit for Notre Dame, the freshman from Monroe, Georgia.
He was a big recruit for Notre Dame a year ago. Tuitt, kid from Georgia. He committed to Georgia Tech for 24 hours, decommitted, and then was an early commit to Notre Dame and actually enrolled in the spring and came for spring football practice.
And with SC facing a 4th down, Notre Dame calls timeout, stopping the clock at 2:04. Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. Everything we've learned making tires that go the distance inspires what we roll into yours. Goodyear, more driven. Curtis McNeel helped from the field after being shaken up on that last play. Heading to the locker room early now with 2:04 left in the half and 4th down. Negretti is on to punt for SC. John Goodman is the deep man, says stay away from it, and it's a short punt. Goes out of bounds around the 26-yard line. So Negretti with only a 21-yard punt. And there's Lane Kiffin, who is, despite his youth, well-traveled. Of course, at SC, he was assistant coach, then offensive coordinator. And then the young man tapped as the head coach of the Oakland Raiders, although it only lasted 1+ seasons. Then head coach in Knoxville for the University of Tennessee. That only lasted 1 year before he took the current job, head coach of the Trojans. Played his college football at Fresno State, did Lane Kiffin, quarterback there. So a big drive here for Notre Dame before halftime. They start from the 25. Tommy Rees finds a man open underneath. It's Theo Riddick and Riddick still on his feet. Now makes a cut to the sideline and upended just inside the 50-yard line by Hayes Pollard, who saved a touchdown. It went for 25 yards.
Shades of his high school running back days. Theo Riddick is explosive in space. Tommy looks left, comes back to the drag route underneath, and now watch him make a miss in space.
Oh, what a nice move.
McNeel Roby doesn't even get a hand on him. Great move in the open field.
First down from midfield. Reese finds Jones. And T.J. Jones picks up another Irish first down before he's forced out of bounds by Isaiah Wiley and Dion Bailey. That's 16 yards, and Reese has it clicking on the last two attempts.
Good job getting out of bounds. Good rhythm by this offense. A little different right now. Tommy Reese, I feel like, is a little bit more patient, looking over the entire field, having the opportunity to make a throw.
First time in Trojan territory.
They've got a single high safety there, so you're going to have a one-on-one.
Reese rolling to his right, threw across his body and threw it away right into the SC band.
Tom, you've heard me say a bunch of times, I don't care if you throw it in the 10th row to the band. If you're throwing it away, it's a good decision, and I like that decision. Ball's out of bounds, it's an incomplete pass, stops the clock.
With 1:14 till halftime. 10-point game.
And Tom, if the Irish can get points on the board, whether it's a field goal or a touchdown, it certainly hasn't felt like a 17-10 or a 17-14 type of game. It would be a huge boost for the Irish heading into the locker room.
Reese hit as he delivered it, got it away, got it to Sierra Wood. And Wood is to the 27-yard line. McNeel Roby made the stop at that point. And the Irish take a timeout that stops the clock at 1:02. So Reese to the sideline to discuss things with his coach. And don't forget the Discover Card halftime report coming up with Liam McHugh and Doug Flutie in New York. And Mike Florio and Peter King joining them with news and notes from the NFL. All that coming up here at halftime. The clock shows 1:02. USC broke out to a 17-0 lead. And then a 96-yard kickoff return from George Atkinson of the Irish put them on the board. And now Notre Dame trying to get some points before halftime. Big 3rd and 3 here.
Keep in mind where they are right now, 27-yard line. It's approximately a 44-yard field goal. You've got to protect points right now for Tommy Reese. And it looks like he got USC to jump.
That'll be a first down if it is offside against SC. Nope, they're going to call it against the Irish.
False start on the offense, number 66. A 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Left guard Chris Watt. Be interesting to see here. I didn't see movement on the Irish front right here. See what kind of movement we get. I don't see anything. There he was late after the nose tackle jumped in the neutral zone, and the 3 technique was lined up directly across from him. They both jumped.
That's a tough call for Chris Watt, and it makes it 3rd down and 8 instead of 3rd and 3. Big, huge difference, and perhaps back out of field goal range.
Nick Perry trying to do the same thing.
Reese crossing route to Riddick. Theo Riddick. And Riddick will pick up a first down. That's a huge conversion for the Irish as they get a crossing route. Reese finds Theo Riddick. And there is a penalty flag down.
Best move of the year on the back, Judge. Watch him right there. Makes the catch. Ref can't make the tackle. Gets up the field for a first down.
Right, the fans were calling for a flag. There was no flag. Drive continues for Notre Dame now with 55 seconds.
Remember, protect points. No interceptions, no sacks.
Riddick punts once, pulls it back down, delivers it on target. It's Tyler Eifert with his first catch of the game, and it's good for another first down.
Reese almost went up top to Michael Floyd. However, he came down off that to Eifert. The only thing I would have liked to see from Eifert is to get out of bounds here. Catch the football, don't turn up the field, get out of bounds.
12-yard line. Here's a pass underneath to Sierra Wood. Nice tackle made at the 8-yard line by Pollard. And Notre Dame will take a timeout.
Peekaboo screen right there. Running back screen.
So that's Notre Dame's final timeout with 33 seconds left. Ball spotted at the 7-yard line, second down.
Keep in mind now, 33 seconds. That's the key component. No timeouts. So they've got to be cognizant of what stops the clock in this situation. With no timeouts left, effectively it's just out of bounds. So everything's either got to be into the end zone or out of bounds. You've burned your timeouts and you got to get a minimum of 3. Protect the 3, but be aggressive for the 7. Now you got to assume in this situation they're going to give Michael Floyd, Nickel Roby help on Michael Floyd. So if I'm taking a shot, it's TJ Jones up top or tight end Eifert in the middle.
Tommy Reese has been hot, 6 for 7 on this drive. The only miss he threw away on purpose. For the end zone, over the head of Michael Floyd, incomplete. He had double coverage, covered by McDonald and Roby.
Yeah, I think that's forcing it there in double coverage. Michael Floyd's frustrated. He has I think he has 1 reception for 2 yards on the day. He's a little bit frustrated, but I would have liked to see him work his read to the front side where he had TJ Jones all day long, one-on-one.
3rd and 5 with 29 seconds.
Now they've got Floyd on the opposite side, up top here. Could throw fade if you wanted. Corner's going to bail, though.
Tommy Reese had a man open in the end zone, misfired for Eifert. Eifert was open, but couldn't make a diving catch on a ball that's low and away, and Reese not happy with that pass.
Yeah, Eifert's right in here in the slot. Comes down, works to the outside, wide open. That contact on the linebacker or safety there, I think, threw off the timing with Tommy Reese, who thought he might come cleaner. But you got to get the 3 points.
So Ruffer will attempt a 25-yard field goal. David Ruffer, and he got it. So with 21 seconds left in the half, Notre Dame gets 3. And that has to be a bit of a boost to them, though, if they pick up 10 points here in the latter stages of the second quarter on the kickoff return, that time on the drive that results in a field goal.
Did not look like a clean operation to me in this field goal here. The snap is a little bit low, and doesn't come back in a clean spiral. Good job handling the football by the holder there, Ryan Cavanaugh. But that disrupts the timing, and it just sneaks inside that right pipe. Look at Cavanaugh. Poor snap, but he gets it down. Give the holder credit there, folks.
So the crowd, which was really revved up as the Atkinson kickoff return went to the end zone and then saw the Irish drive down. They have to settle for the field goal, but it's a whole new ball game as they come through with their first sustained drive of the game. 10 plays, 68 yards. And Notre Dame has made it a ball game again, down just 7. Brinza will kick it with Farmer and Carlisle deep. Brinza's kickoff to George Farmer in the end zone. He's going to bring it out. Hit hard at the 20-yard line and taken down there. Danny Spond on special teams for the Irish.
There's Kennedy Palomalu right there, the running backs coach and offensive coordinator at USC. He's the uncle of Troy Polamalu. Changed his name. It used to be Kennedy Pola. Shifted it back to Polamalu just because he's so proud of his heritage and what he's done back in his home country. Really good football coach, too.
They're Good shot of him. So 16 seconds left, 15 seconds and counting. And that will end the first half of play. Well, USC came out on their first possession of the game. They drove down the field, it appeared, easily. They forced Notre Dame into 3 and out on their first 2 possessions. After going up 17-0, the Irish close it to 7, and Alex is with Lane Kiffin.
Coach, so you hold their offense to 3 points. What do you have to continue doing on defense in the second half?
Well, we have to continue to tackle, and stay deep like we are, not give up the big plays.
We watched Curtis McNeel being helped off the field minutes before the half ended. What happened to him?
We don't know for sure. We're getting banged up, but same thing happened to us last week. Who's ever in there's got to make some plays, and obviously, we got to play better on special teams. That's the first time that's happened to us all year. So we let these guys back into it, so we got a heck of a game now.
Looks like both of your running backs might be banged up. How does that change how you call plays in the second half?
Throw it every time. See ya.
Simple answer to that question. Lane Kiffin and the Trojans leading 17-10. Now stay tuned for the... Under the lights, the stage was set for something special in this great rivalry between Notre Dame and USC.
83 years. There's a lot on your back. This is the game where you need to put it all out on the line.
Gives you a bad respect, bragging rights for that year.
It's Trojan time. That's when we close out, and that's when we finish.
Going to get such a historic program, I want to leave my stamp on it.
So first half dominated early by the Trojans of USC, and then Notre Dame got a kickoff return for a touchdown and a field goal just before halftime. As you see, rushing yards in favor of the Trojans, passing yards pretty close. Total yards heavily in favor of SC, as is time of possession, and 5 penalties, 48 yards against Notre Dame. 2 of them coming on one drive that resulted in Irish points, or Trojan points. So to open the second half, Kyle Brinza will kick off for Notre Dame. George Farmer and Robert Woods are the deep men for USC. Woods takes it 5 yards deep. Robert Woods. Nice tackle made at the 20-yard line. That was beautiful. That's the way that they do it when they call it form tackling.
It was Atkinson.
It was George Atkinson who had the kickoff return earlier. Let's go to Alex.
Hey, Tom, well, Brian Kelly just got finished telling me that his team played the worst first half of football that they've played all year long. He says they're rusty and uncharacteristic. Seems like their defensive front has had some trouble with gap responsibilities. Brian Kelly telling me that they're over-pursuing and that they have to play better, obviously, in the second half.
As you see, 0-4 when trailing at the half the last 2 seasons at Notre Dame for Brian Kelly. And, of course, Notre Dame is coming off a bye week. If he told Alex they were a bit rusty. Here's a play-action fake by Matt Barkley, and nowhere to go with the football. Now he's going to try to scramble with it. Chased down and tackled from behind, but he got 5 or 6 yards. Darius Fleming tracked him down finally.
As advertised, just a really smart decision to pull the ball down. Good coverage all over the field. Play action. Hallmark of the first half. Gray releases but runs back underneath. Nobody's open on the front side. You go backside. Crossing route. Good job of passing him off to Manti Te'o. So what does the junior signal caller with 30 starts as a Trojan do? Hey, tuck it and go.
Setting up a second down and about 3. And this will be Mark Tyler. Tyler's close to the first down.
That's been the play. They've been gaining most of their yards this entire game. Tyler or Curtis McNeel.
And Tyler has the first down. There are the numbers on Barkley. After the Irish got some pressure on him, you see his numbers fell off dramatically on the last 3 drives.
But he still got rid of the football. You're exactly right, Tom. Pressured him, got rid of the football. No sacks, no interceptions.
McNeel, who left with an injury in the first half, latter stages, is back on the field. Barkley on a crossing route has his man open, and it's Robert Woods. The dependable Woods makes the catch in front of Manti Te'o.
Get a good quarterback and spread the field. And what they did that time was they had Where's Waldo as a running back. Robert Woods is lined up right here. You better identify that. They're just going to wait for him to work underneath the linebacker Fox, which he does. That's way too easy.
9-yard gain. 2nd down and 1. To Woods. Chased out of bounds. That's as good as a run. Gray chased him out, but 1st down, SC.
Good alert by the junior signal caller. Soft corner, throw it out. Get the 1st down. I really think, Tom, the basis for USC tonight has been the run game and then the play action off of it, especially with Robert Woods and all the different locations. This time, he and Marquise Lee both split to the full side of the field.
42-yard line. Barkley in the shotgun on 1st down. Hands it off to McNeel. McNeel 5 or 6 yards before Gary Gray makes another tackle from that cornerback spot. As the Trojans continue to get yardage on the ground against Notre Dame.
Really good block that time by the right tackle, Kevin Graff. They're winning at the point of attack. And at the top of the show, I said I didn't think their offensive line was ready for prime time. And so far, they've proven me wrong.
Look at the new gold helmets worn by Notre Dame tonight, debuting them tonight, replicating the color of the Golden Dome exactly, according to Coach Kelly, as McNeel is stopped after a gain of a couple. Alex, more about the helmets.
Well, Tom, people might not know what a big deal it is for these new helmets. It took them 1 entire year to develop them. Gone through about 10 different redos on the helmet to make sure it is the exact color that Brian Bruns, the equipment manager, and Brian Kelly wanted. Has actual real flakes of gold in the helmet, Tom.
Well, the Golden Helmet's trying to find an opposing player to put one on here. 3rd and 3, big down early in the 3rd quarter. Matt Barkley again finds a man open, and it's Bryce Butler. It appears, though, that Notre Dame has given a pretty good cushion to these SC receivers all during the game so far.
They really have, especially on 3rd and 4. Bryce Butler's just going to have a quick spray release to the outside. So the inside receiver Woods had press man coverage, but Gray laid off Bryce Butler, who took advantage of it. And again,
that was a
Barkley,
simple pitch and catch for a 1st down.
Exactly, Tom. Throw it on time, and that's too easy.
Back into Irish territory from the 46. Barkley to George Farmer. See if the freshman can make something happen, and he does get 9 yards on 1st down.
Remember, Farmer is a 10 to 100-meter guy. True freshman, one of the most highly recruited players in the entire country. This is like an extended handoff. Here he is. He's just heading that way. And the 2 receivers down the field have the key blocks. Number 86, Grimble, does a great job on Shembo, and that was the key block in that sequence. Just an extended handoff, another way that Lane Kiffin uses to protect his offensive line.
Another key for SC tonight has been good yardage on 1st down. Gives them lots of options. Here's a 2nd and short, and they'll hand it to McNeel.
Boy, is he strong lower body.
Dragging Shembo with him, he picks up a 1st down. Drive continues for SC. This is off the opening kickoff of the 2nd half.
Kind of remind you of the 1st half, Tom?
Yeah.
You know, and this kid, McNeel, is only 5'7", and he's so explosive lower body-wise. We saw the linebacker Manti Te'o slide off him in the 1st half, and here again he pushes the pile for another 1st down.
Tonight's 1st down line brought to you by Xerox. Barkley opens the 2nd half. 4 for 4 so far on this drive. 26 yards. Draw play, handoff to Tyler. Tyler gets the corner. Lowers his head, picks up another Trojan 1st down. Harrison Smith stacked him up, but not until 1st down yardage achieved. And the drive continues, much as it was to open the game. Looks like there is a flag down.
Holding on the offense. Number 66. A 10-yard penalty will be enforced from the spot of the foul. 1st down.
Marcus Martin guilty of the hold, a freshman guilty of the hold. So that'll give them a little tougher chore to keep going on this drive.
True freshman from Crenshaw High School has a hold on number 45, Darius Fleming. Pretty obvious, but I'm telling you, at the point of attack, I think what Brian Kelly said to our Alex Flanagan is true. It looks to me like they're a step short on defense, and that even starts with their leader, Manti Te'o.
Penalty nullified. A good game, and here's Barkley. Scrambles to get it to McNeel. And McNeel tackled by Robert Blanton.
He wanted Marquise Lee deep, but again, Barkley just checks it down. Who cares if Curtis McNeel slips or not? Just another smart decision by the quarterback. Talk about pocket awareness and eyes. He wants the deep shot. He's set for his feet for the deep shot. It's not there. Okay, we'll slide to our right. He knows where his check down is. Now you got a one-on-one, and your running back slips. I don't care. Good job by the quarterback.
5 for 5 on this drive, Matt Barkley. Here's number 6, and it too is complete to the tight end Grimble, but only a short gain on the play to the 30-yard line, hit hard by Te'o.
He wanted to throw slant. Look at his eyes. His eyes are on the slant, but now he comes back down to Grimble, makes the short throw, and now he gets himself, after the penalty, into a makeable situation, about 3rd and 8. They're 2 consecutive smart throws by the quarterback.
Barkley across the middle, and the pass incomplete. Grimble couldn't hang on. Harrison Smith dislodged that football from the tight end, Xavier Grimble.
Bad snap, I think, really disrupted the timing of that throw.
Been quite a few of those tonight that have all been low.
Khaled Holmes, the center. He's going to check it down to his big-bodied tight end, Grimble. Harrison Smith strips it.
So with the ball at the 30-yard line and 4th and 8, SC lines up in punt formation with Negretti.
Notre Dame in punt safe.
Negretti with a little pooch punt. Goodman calls a fair catch and makes it at about the 8-yard line. That's where Notre Dame will put it into play on their first possession of the second half, trailing SC 17-10. In 1974, USC trailed 24-0 late in the first half with 10 seconds before the half. Anthony Davis scored on a 7-yard pass from Pat Hayden. Davis then took the opening kick of the second half, 102 yards, to open the floodgates for SC. They scored 35 in the third quarter. Charles Phillips' 58-yard interception return for a touchdown, capped a 55-24 Trojans victory. And the aforementioned Pat Hayden, who seems to know his way around this booth. He already adjusted several things over there.
It's great to be back with you, big buddy.
Now the athletic director, of course, at USC, Pat Hayden, who spent 12 years in the announce booth doing Notre Dame games here. And nice to have you back. Nice to be back. You know, I know it's hard to leave all of this, but SC gave you the call and you answered the call. Tell us what you thought.
Well, you know, it's great. I am on a college campus. You know how intellectually invigorating that is, working with kids, and there's nothing better, Tom.
First down run by Sierra Wood.
You know, Pat, I've got to tell you something from the other day. The thing that impressed me, Tom, just walking around with this guy, was I've never seen a more energetic guy, and a guy who obviously loved his alma mater the way you did. It's pretty cool to watch you work with your kids.
I hope it didn't show in my broadcasts, but I do love it. I went to school there. My wife's from there, and kids went there, and so it's nice to be back there in a time of need as well.
Well, you took over at a time as we watch this second down play, which is a Reese tip pass incomplete. You took over at a difficult time, though, when the sanctions hit. What about the direction of especially the football program now? I know you have lots of other sports other than football, but everybody thinks SC, they think football. What about the direction of the program?
Well, I am athletic director, not football director, so we do have 20 other sports, but everybody's interested in football. That is the sport that we have to continue to win, but win the right way, as we say. I mean, we're gonna try to win Pac-12 championships. We're going to try to win national championships, Tom, but we're going to really try to do it the right way.
Well, working with you so many years, I know one of the things that you like most about college athletics is great kids. And during the years, we met so many great kids here at Notre Dame, did we not?
Yeah, they're awesome. Kids at Notre Dame are just absolutely awesome. It's one of my favorite things to do is come out and talk to those kids.
And there's a key completion on 3rd down by Tommy Reese to Tyler Eifert for a 1st down for the Irish.
Pat, I need you to take this one for old time's sake right here, okay?
Eifert right here, over here in the slot right here. That my man coming out here? Yeah, see?
Backside pressure, he runs away from Nick Perry.
Nice play, nice throw by Reese out in front of him, so he didn't have to slow down and catch the ball.
Tommy Reese to Tyler Eifert to the 30-yard line. Well, you know, Tommy Reese, growing up, had on his wall a poster of Pat Hayden.
Well, we're both short. That's part of the problem. Yeah.
Drew Brees was on the other side.
Yeah. But Tommy Reese is a great kid, as you guys know, and he is really accurate. The ball comes out of his hands so fast, Mike.
I thought it was a great story, though. Just his father, who was a coach. He's a coach's kid. His father's now a talent scout, college scout for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But listening to Tommy tell the story about your picture on his wall, about some of the different influences in his life, and I'm always a big believer when you're a coach's son or when you grow up with that type of background, you're just a gym rat, and certain things come more quickly to you mentally, I think, than other kids.
Yeah, he manages the game incredibly well. Even last year against us as a freshman, you know, overcame a couple of mistakes to win it at the end. You know, he's a very, very mature kid, and as I said, really, really accurate thrower.
Just hit Michael Floyd for a 1st down, only Floyd's 2nd catch of the game, which has been one of the keys tonight. Reese disconnected that time, threw it between 2 receivers.
I think Michael Floyd caught 877 passes against us last year. So the fact that he's only caught 2 in this game for Trojan fans is a good thing. He is a dominant player.
Do you miss this at all?
I haven't really thought about it much. We've been awfully busy. I miss you, Tom. You know, I see you guys are wearing makeup now, and your taxidermist
we have
must
shrimp
be proud.
cocktail still over here at halftime.
Your taxidermist is very proud of you. Yes.
One more play here. 2nd down and 10. And a complete pass, and there is Michael Floyd with another reception. I want to we'll watch here the block by Riddick, I think they said.
A little bubble screen here, and they're finding creative ways now to get the football in number 3's hands. Okay, you got to get the ball to 3. There's the block by 6, Riddick. Great job at the point of attack, and when you got a 227-pound, effectively tailback in that situation, he's an explosive kid.
3rd down and a yard. Here's a big down for the Irish and for the SC defense as well. And 1st down, Sierra Wood. Well, just one final comment. Last night, Mike and I were able to go over to see the new hockey arena here at Notre Dame. Spectacular building. And I know you have a new athletic facility opening up named after your old coach.
Yeah, my old coach, John McKay. We're really happy about it. It's going to be somewhat like the Goog here at Notre Dame, that incredible facility. It's going to open up next July and house all 21 of our sports teams. It's going to be awesome.
And I know that Notre Dame and SC work together sometimes. They're not always rivals. They have a sports management cooperation going. That's a pretty impressive thing. Thanks for coming by and saying hi to us again.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thanks, Pat. Thanks for being such a great host on our trip out there.
Reese on the run, throws it away. So our thanks to Pat Hayden, SC quarterback, Los Angeles Rams quarterback, Rhodes Scholar, broadcaster, and now the athletic director at USC.
I think one of the things he was most proud about were some of those other sports. You know, and their Olympic totals better than some countries, even students coming out of USC.
Yeah, SC has had more successful Olympians than any other university in the United States.
Now, this is what I like. They're giving Tommy Reese a chance to just scan the field and get rid of the football. Inside pressure, all-man coverage.
Threw it behind Michael Floyd. Oh, no, threw it behind T.J. Jones.
Yeah, I think that may have been tipped at the line of scrimmage. Yeah, and I think he had what he wanted there. Remember, USC's been great at tipping balls at the line of scrimmage. And there it is one more time. It looked like Gallipo, the linebacker who was blitzing on the play. Once that ball's tipped, there's no such thing as pass interference. I think the second pass tip of the night for USC.
So now 3rd down and 10 from midfield. And it's caught by Eifert. First down, Notre Dame. The gain of 11 yards, and Tyler Eifert comes through again. The pass from Tommy Rees on target, and the drive continues. 3 for 3 on third downs during this drive.
Really good job because, again, they're running people at Michael Floyd. Looks him off, and here's Eifert. This is one of the top tight ends in the country. Good job hooking it up right at the first down marker. Excellent job both by Eifert and his quarterback.
Rees steps up to avoid pressure, now being chased and unloads it.
Uh-oh, Tommy Rees is holding his right knee. Went down very awkwardly there. You see Dane Christ warming up, I'm sure.
And Andrew Hendricks, of course, has already played some in this game. Tommy Rees injured on the play. We'll take a break. Back in Notre Dame, Tommy Rees injured, was able to walk off under his own power. You see him slam his helmet there.
Being chased by 42 Devon Kennard, trying to get rid of the football while falling back. Not even hit by Kennard till after he goes down. It's his right leg. Don't want to speculate. Hard to see what happened there, but I'm happy to see he walked off. Two things here. For a couple of snaps, it's probably Hendricks, but if you think it's going to be longer, it's got to be Dane Christ.
So Christ in the game. Christ in the game in his third appearance of the season. He started the first game, was relieved at halftime. Here's his first pass, low but caught by Sierra Wood. Got some mop-up duty against Purdue, did Christ. So on the season, he's now 9 of 17 passing. No touchdowns and an interception. For his career, he's hitting 58%, 16 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. The starter to begin the season, but demoted at halftime of the first game.
And what an opportunity for this young man.
Rifles one, incomplete through the hands of Eifert.
Outside linebacker Dion Bailey stripped him. One thing Dane has is a big arm. It's a bigger arm than most Division I quarterbacks in the country. Give Bailey credit there for undercutting the route, but there's never been any doubt about this kid's arm strength.
4th down and 6.
They're going to empty the backfield and give him a chance to read now.
Notre Dame going for it on 4th down. Here's Christ. Man open, caught by Eifert. And Tyler Eifert out of bounds with a first down for Notre Dame. 12-yard strike from Christ to Eifert. Another conversion, this one on 4th down.
Inside receiver into the boundary. Michael Floyd runs them off deep. The outside linebacker Hayes Ballard is very late getting over. And it's a first down.
Eifert is being big on this drive. 5 receptions on this game. Christ wheels it complete to Wood. Made a man miss. Uses his blockers, and Wood down inside the 10-yard line. That's a gain of 15 and another Notre Dame first down.
Well executed play. Zach Martin, the leader of this offensive line, the left tackle. Watch him pull out and get the key block. Left tackle Martin. There's the drop off. Look at him in space. Kicks him out. And now Michael Floyd, who we've said all year long has blocked extremely well on Isaiah Wiley. Stays on him, stays on him. Excellent job. Point of attack both by left tackle and Floyd.
Chris rolls to his right. Has another man open. Eifert again. Pinballed down to the ground, but inside the 5-yard line. 5 receptions on this drive for the tight end Tyler Eifert. Wiley and Bailey got him down hard. Not until he had another nice gain at 2nd down and 3, and Hendricks onto the field.
Now here's an issue for the defense. You've got an option quarterback in the game. Changes everything you're doing defensively versus a statue like Dane Christ.
Andrew Hendricks with Sierra Wood alongside. Kept it, did Hendricks. And makes it to about the 2-yard line. He and Wood sort of running together. Looked like he might hand off. He might keep it. He kept it.
There was a disagreement there at the mesh point. Wood wanted it. Hendricks pulled it.
as Christ comes back in after getting the play call from Brian Kelly. Third down, 3rd and goal.
Let's see if they shift Michael Floyd out or keep him in tight. Oh my
Fumble the football. Still loose. Picked up. Starling, the safety, racing to the end zone. Jawanza Starling of SC for the touchdown. An 80-yard fumble return for a touchdown. Disaster strikes Notre Dame.
Now remember, Dane Christ has not worked with Braxton Cave in quite a while. Looked like the ball came up and hit him almost on an angle there, and then it gets compounded by the kick. Starling picks it up, and then shades of South Florida. Huge, huge momentum shift.
Hadari to attempt the point after. Knuckleball, but through. So Hadari hits the extra point. And so Starling with an 80-yard fumble return touchdown.
Jawanza Starling went 80 yards with the fumbled snap from center. And remember, Dane Christ is a little bit rusty. Watch the left hand separate. As it separates, the ball goes between the two hands. The quarterback's hands have to stay together through impact of the football. I put that on the quarterback, Dane Christ.
He and Braxton Cave too little too late on that, working on the snap. That drive had covered 90 yards on 18 plays before the fumble.
That's a crusher, Tom.
That's a 14-point turnaround.
Right, 10 or 14, depending on field goal or touchdown. That's a crusher.
So McMahon will kick off for SC. Their backup kicker. And it's a short kick to Atkinson. Atkinson trying to pick his way forward. Stopped just short of the 40-yard line. As the third quarter continues to tick away for the Irish. This was the reaction after the fumble for a touchdown. Brian Kelly, just the cold stare. Notre Dame football is brought to you by Northwestern Mutual, the power to predict your own financial future. By Xerox. With Xerox, you're ready for real business. By Add a Zero 5-star, 6.9 ounces, the lightest ever. And by J. Edgar from director Clint Eastwood in theaters November 11th. Well, after the last two games with 0 turnovers, Notre Dame gets a big one there, about to score. And 80 yards the other way for a touchdown. Tommy Rees is back at quarterback. Here's Rees on first down. Complete to Floyd. Michael Floyd to the 49 of USC. Alex?
Hey, Tom, if you look closely at Tommy Rees's right knee, you'll see he has a sleeve on it. When he was injured, he came off, sat on the sideline. They put a bandage over his knee and then slid that sleeve on over it. Made him run up and down the sidelines a couple times and then let him go back in the game.
I like the smile on his face after he completed that. I don't think much gets to this kid. I really don't. It seems like when he's playing his worst, somehow he turns it around when it matters the most.
Underneath to Jones. TJ spun down. As the third quarter ticks away, Deion Bailey made the stop for USC. And that play will bring the third quarter to a close. At the end of the third, USC leads Notre Dame 24-10. We'll return to Notre Dame Stadium after these messages from your local NBC station. You're watching Notre Dame football on NBC. See dance as they lead 24-10. The only points in that third quarter when Notre Dame was threatening an 80-yard fumble return for a touchdown. 7 the other way, and it's 24-10. Notre Dame with a second down and 3. Here's Tommy Rees. slides down after picking up the first down. So a rare run from Reese, but it's productive as it picks up the first down. Bad leg and all. That sleeve on his right knee, and he slid on it, but appears to be okay.
Great job by Tommy Reese, but they've been attacking Michael Floyd all night. Watch the corner right here, Roby, take a shot at him. There's a safety over top. That was TJ McDonald. Every time Tommy looks that way, there seems to be a double team in some way or another.
Reese stands in the pocket. His pass snagged by Eifert. Forward progress should be a first down. Gain of 11.
I don't ever doubt this kid's toughness. Looks to his right, doesn't have it. He's going to come back. Watch the shot he takes from Wes Horton. Never flinches, gets hit, puts the ball right on Eifert. Tough kid, man.
There's a running play to Jonas Gray. And Gray down the sideline for the touchdown. Using a Zach Martin block, Jonas Gray sprints 25 yards for a score.
Everybody on this side pulling. Watch all three of them right here. Braxton Cave snaps it. Chris Watt and Zach Martin, number 70. Get up the field. Watt does a good job. Martin down the field on the safety. McDonald, and the 230-pounder takes it in.
And Ruffer for the point after. And Ruffer's kick is good. Tommy Reese comes back in after being injured. 3 for 3, 31 yards on that drive. Touchdown run by Jonas Gray. And it's not over yet. 24-17 USC. Time now for Doing the Right Thing, presented by Northwestern Mutual.
Talked about Matt Barkley and his ability to get the ball out of his hands all day long. Really been impressed by him. Play action, extended handoff to Woods. Again.
And Brenza's kick through the end zone for the touchback. And let's take another look at our Northwestern Mutual Doing the Right Thing.
Barkley, great job today getting the football out of his hands. Play action to Woods. That's like an extended handoff, as is this. Woods out of the backfield. Good catch. Play action, quarter roll. Timing is impeccable. Gets Woods one more time. Love this. Low snap, keeps his composure, rolls out. First down to Carswell. And look how quickly the ball's out, folks. 0.9 of a second. No interceptions, no sacks. That's his game.
That's our Northwestern Mutual Doing the Right Thing. So now from the 20. Barkley to Woods. Woods using his blocker. Got 5 yards before he's tackled around the shoe tops by Darius Fleming.
And Tom, that's kind of an extension of what we just showed on that Doing the Right Thing. Quick passing attack. It's an extended run play with your most explosive player in the open field.
Band of the fans trying to rally the defense now. Just USC's second offensive possession of the second half. Facing a second down and 4. Tyler is going to set up a third down. Dan Fox.
Gary Gray did a nice job along with Fox on that. Sets up a key 3rd and short.
So 3rd down. And the towels are out as the fans try to rally the defense for a stop here on 3rd down and short. Play action fake. Barkley rolls, no pressure. Now feels some pressure, got away. Barkley ducks under and picks up the first down. There's your veteran quarterback once again coming to the fore.
And the exact same play of the first half, it was 4th and short. Play action where Notre Dame had it covered beautifully. Play action, the coverage is there. Now the problem is when Filer comes up for contain, he allows Barkley outside of him. And again, the junior signal caller pulls it down. Now, there's the pump fake like basketball player. Get him in air. up the field. He knows where the first down marker is. That's a great job by Matt Barkley.
Sets up a first down at the 32-yard line. To Woods on a screen. Reverses his field and has blockers. And picks up another first down. Harrison Smith finally reacting to stop him after 13, but the play was all jammed up, and Woods made something out of nothing.
Yeah, Woods is just such an exciting athlete, and you fake it to McNeel and you throw it out there. Little did McNeel and the quarterback Barkley know they would be key blockers on the other side. There's McNeel with a block, and now here's your quarterback out front. So the guy that handed it off and then made the throw, and the guy they faked it to on the handoff, both made key blocks on the backside.
Another first down for the Trojans. McNeel breaking free. Upended by Harrison Smith. But he got another first down as he rambled for 15.
I thought Steve Filer here took a bad angle coming off the edge. Here's Harrison Smith. Filer 46 coming off the edge. You got to come down tougher on that, make the tackle. Open field, really good tackle. Textbook by Harrison Smith, who I think is one of the most underrated football players in the country, and that'll show up in the draft when he goes a lot higher than people think.
41-yard line of the Irish. Barkley. And a diving catch made by Robert Woods.
Tom, this kid's so good. I mean, I watched him on the route there. Watch the speed. Gray is off. This isn't a route. I mean, he widens them, and then the acceleration back inside. Gray had to turn his hips, and if that ball was thrown out more out in front, that's a touchdown. He finishes it with the diving catch. Right now, Woods, 10 catches for 101 yards by my numbers, and he's averaging 10 catches a game. That's one of the most explosive football players in the country.
That last one went for 25, and SC's threatening. 1st and 10 at the 16. Nice play in the backfield on McNeel. Got the handoff. Fleming hit him immediately.
Fleming plays both down in a three-point stance. He also, right here, look at him, beats the block of the right tackle, Kevin Graff, beats it to the inside. He can play with his hands in the dirt. He can stand up. Darius Fleming's really a good football player. And Tom, in the red zone, situation where we're winding down in the 4th quarter. USC has to protect points. Notre Dame has to make a play.
Barkley, play action fake. As the receiver Ellison is be chased back. Robert Blanton was the first to hit Ellison.
Blanton is a fundamentally sound corner. Number 12 on the edge. Sees the route by Ellison, doesn't let him outflank him. Then the textbook tackle on the 250-pound tight end. People ask me all the time about his draft prospects, and he's a senior that plays corner. He can also play inside as a safety. He's a sneaky good football player, and that was a nice play.
So 3rd down and 9. Matt Barkley hitting over 70% of his passes in this game. Sends Ellison in motion. Short drop and a pump by Barkley. Hit as he delivers and incomplete. The Irish able to get pressure that time. Dan Fox was wrapping up Barkley as he delivered. And the pass incomplete, so the field goal unit is out.
Barkley has an uncanny, innate sense of timing. Here comes Fox from the outside. He feels him, gets rid of the football, and again, protects points. But Tom, this field goal kicker was hurt at halftime and struggled with that last extra point.
Back on Hadari to attempt a 32-yard field goal. Hadari sends it up, and it's no good. He obviously was not at full strength. Was injured. Comes back out and misses from 32 yards. And the Irish have new life. Notre Dame football when we return to Notre Dame Stadium. Notre Dame football is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. by Mercedes-Benz. Experience truly great engineering today at your authorized dealer. By U.S. Bank, member FDIC. And by Triple Hops Brewed Miller Lite. Taste greatness. Tom Hammond, Mike Mayock, Alex Flanagan, Notre Dame Stadium. Our thanks to Michael Dougherty and Eric Woodliff and the Goodyear blimp. Goodyear providing our aerial coverage. Everything we've learned making tires that go the distance inspires what we roll into yours. Goodyear, more driven. Notre Dame Stadium shining like a diamond in the Indiana night. And Notre Dame taking over, trailing by 7 with Theo Riddick on a first down run. Kept his legs churning, made a pretty good run out of it when it didn't look like it was going to go for much. Hayes Pillard on the SC tackle.
And Tom, I think it's worth revisiting that field goal because it might set something up for later. Poussin, good snap. Barkley, clean hold. Operations good. The ball is pulled. Remember, Hadari hurt in the first half. The question is, if they need a field goal down the road, will it be him or preferred walk-on Craig McNeel?
Incomplete through the hands of Sierra Wood. Was it a backward pass?
Yeah, they didn't blow a whistle. They did not blow a whistle. See?
Another turnover. Chris Gallipo recovers the backward pass.
You know, Theo Riddick cannot hesitate here. He's got to know that that's a questionable throw as to a forward pass or a backward lateral. Ball's out of the hands. Let's see where he throws it from. Just inside the 5-yard mark. Looks like a lateral to me. And that, excuse me, that was Sierra Wood. My bad. Sierra Wood can't hesitate. The ball's just in front, and it looked like it was just behind the 20-yard line when he touched it. So that is a lateral, and I think Sierra Wood's hesitation. Ball's thrown backwards. Watch him hesitate right there. Stops. Now he goes. It's too late. Great hustle by Gallipo, by the way. Really good recognition and hustle.
The ruling on the field in the previous play is being under further review.
So they'll review it. The replay officials, Nick Traynor and Roy Reynolds of the Big East.
It's pretty close, but the call on the field is a backwards throw. In other words, a fumble. Tom, let's look at this. Just from inside. I'd like to see that one more time.
It's close.
Yeah, that 5-yard marker is a pretty good barometer. He's right foot, left foot. The ball is just inside it, and it looks like Sierra Wood is standing on the 20. So I think Tommy Reese is just inside the 20. Let's see where this hits. And it looks like it'll hit him right in the helmet standing on the 20. I don't think there's enough to overturn this one. Here's a good one right down the line now, folks. Boy, is that close. And Tom, I don't think there's enough there to overturn.
I agree. It's a close call, but
the look prior to this one, I think, was the perfect look, as close as we're going to get. And again, Sierra Wood's hesitation is going to cost this team. Gallipo does a great job, and also there he is, inside the 20. The ball's released, and he catches it right on the line.
Boy, the same things that dogged the Irish in their first 2 losses of the season, turnovers, have really hurt them again tonight.
What did we say in the open? When the Irish play a clean game, they win. So far, not very clean.
So SC takes over. 18-yard line of Notre Dame.
Bobby Diaco, the defensive coordinator, calls this sudden change. They work on it every day in practice. The defense has to be ready to sprint off the bench and have energy and make a play.
2 turnovers now by Notre Dame. One of them went for a touchdown. And none by USC. Barkley steps up and has a man wide open in the end zone for the touchdown. It's Mark Tyler. No, he's out of bounds.
Tyler juggled that, I believe. He was open the whole time. I give Barkley such credit for patience in the pocket. That's the halfback, Tyler, out wide. Look at him with his hand up in the corner of the end zone. The ball comes. That right foot looks like it was on the end line. Let's see. Up in the air. He's clearly out of bounds.
Yep.
Good call. But I love the presence in the pocket of quarterback Matt Barkley.
Fake, fire, screen to Woods, and played well that time by Notre Dame as Gray shedded a blocker and made the hit.
Yeah, that's about 200 pounds winning versus 295. Matt Khalil, potential All-American left tackle, pulls out. Watch Gray come up, beat the block to the inside, and still make the tackle on Woods. That's asking a lot. Effectively, that's one defensive back against two offensive players.
Shed the block, and Khalil made the hit, setting up 3rd down and 6.
And remember, if you stop them here,
what are they going to do about a field goal?
Exactly. So this is a huge play. Keep them out of the end zone.
Pump once, go to the end zone. Open man, Woods for the SC touchdown.
Now, they identify a new defensive back in the game, Low Wood, who hasn't played, I don't believe, all evening long. Low Wood up top. Robert Woods just takes it inside, back out to the corner of the end zone, and all the quarterback Barkley has to do is throw it to the back byline. Wide open, great throw and catch.
So Hadari will attempt the extra point now.
The ruling on the field of touchdown is under further review.
That Lane Kiffin's look is like, what? Well, did he not get a foot down?
I think part of this is, does he have possession?
Yeah, did he bobble the football?
Exactly. He's got to remember, in college football now, all the way through the ground. Does it roll? Does it move? That looks like a catch to me. It can hit the ground. It can't, but you can't lose it. You can't have movement of the ball or have the ground support the ball. Now, if it rolls around, they see how it's on the ground there. That's what this ref had a great angle on, and he gave it a touchdown. He's cradling it against the chest, and I don't see enough movement to overturn that. Catch against the chest. Here's where you have to see, is that left hand underneath of, did he ever lose it? Again, I don't see any chance to overturn that. It's good video, but I think the call on the field has to stand. My biggest question is why is Low Wood in the game there? We haven't called his name. I haven't seen him all night. I don't know if there's an injury.
After further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. Touchdown.
But you've got Low Wood in there, a kid with very minimal snaps this year against an All-American wide receiver in a critical play, man-to-man, no help.
So Hadari will attempt the extra point. And this one is good. So Hadari got his balance back on that one and kicked it through. As Robert Woods, he's a special player. And his athletic director likes it. Getting another touchdown. It's 31-17 USC, as 14 of their points, the direct result of Notre Dame turnovers.
Been the story of the season, hasn't it?
Well, you stated it pretty well. You said they play clean, they win. They don't, they lose. And that's what happened in their first two games. As McMahon is set to kick it to Atkinson. McMahon, the redshirt freshman, kicks it to George Atkinson. To the 37-yard line. This week, your home for NHL hockey is on Versus. Tuesday night, Steven Stamkos and the Lightning face off against Ryan Miller and the Sabres. NHL hockey Tuesday night on Versus. And last night was opening night at the brand new Compton Family Ice Arena. A couple of weeks ago, Notre Dame announced a multi-year deal with the NBC Sports Group to televise Irish hockey, starting on New Year's Eve with a game against Boston University, another game January 20th against Michigan. Breathtaking arena for hockey here on the campus, and Tommy Reese finally throws underneath. Short game. Last night was the campus was alive. They had not only the hockey, first game in the new hockey arena, but they had the women's soccer team, the defending national champions, playing a night game, and they had the men's and women's basketball madness underway. The women, of course, of Notre Dame are the national runner-up, defending runner-up, and it was quite a night around the Notre Dame campus. Reese to Riddick. Be a yard short of a first down. Pullard the tackle.
And Tom, along those lines, it's a huge weekend, not only on campus for the students, but the recruits they have in. Some scouting experts are saying this might be the biggest on-campus recruiting weekend in the history of Notre Dame football. The quality of talent being recruited and here on official visits tonight.
56 of the top recruits, and here's another interception. Third turnover by the Irish. Nikel Roby picks it off. Intended for Michael Floyd. We said that was a matchup to watch. It's gone Roby's way.
Roby had 2 plays early in the game where we thought there could have been interference called, and there wasn't. Now watch him here. He's an aggressive kid. He jumps the in-breaking route, cleanly takes the football away at 5'8", 165. This is a kid that was an honorable mention Pac-10 player as a freshman a year ago. What an impressive performance.
Has the interception and already holding Floyd to only 4 receptions. Time now for our Sprint Unlimited update. All football, no limits. And behind Matt Barkley, the Trojans took a 17-0 lead in this game. Some life for the Irish, though, on George Atkinson's 96-yard kickoff return touchdown. Tommy Reese injured in the third quarter, and his replacement, Dane Crisp, moved the Irish down, and then a disastrous fumble picked up by Starling and returned 80 yards for an SC touchdown. 3 turnovers in the second half by Notre Dame. The third one just happened, and SC takes over as a result. McNeel. Wrestled down by Smith and Slaughter, but damage done. 15 yards.
Turnovers, turnovers, turnovers. The first 2 generated 14 points. Scoop and score was really a 10 to 14 point swing.
Yeah.
Can't beat good football teams at -3 in the turnover department. Give Lane Kiffin and their team a ton of credit for taking advantage and making plays.
And the winner of this game likely to move into the top 25. And right now it looks SC's advantage, 31-17. McNeel.
McNeel.
Prince Shimbo, the first to wrap him up.
I mean, Tom, to me, this is a statement game for USC. Right before that snap, they had 187 rushing yards against what was considered a stout front of Notre Dame. Barkley showing how good a quarterback he is with a clean game so far, and Robert Woods as advertised.
And the Trojans unable to play for a bowl or for the Pac-12 championship. Able to come into this setting under the lights in prime time against a big rival. And play so well. Curtis McNeel gets the call. Alex?
Tom, so much energy put into this game out of the Notre Dame fans and crowd here. Wind has been completely taken out of their sails now as the crowd just sits quietly here, almost dumbfounded. You know, they did so many things in terms of trying to get them into this game to help their team. Rock music played in between plays, the towels waving everywhere, but all that they did didn't pay off, Tom, in the end.
You're right, and dejected. The BCS hopes going down the drain. They were hoping
there
that
are fouls by both teams after the play. Personal foul on the defense, number 19. Personal foul on the offense, number 53. Those penalties offset. Third down.
So the offsetting penalties.
End of the play. Aaron Lynch pushing Kevin Graff.
But the same thing that hurt the Irish in their opening season 2 losses. The turnovers, remember they had 10 turnovers their first 2 games. They've had 3 tonight, and 2 of them led to 14 points, and the 3rd one is pending. Curtis McNeel, hard to bring down, ridden down at the 15-yard line by Smith and Gray. That's a 14-yard jaunt for Curtis McNeel, who's having a big night running the football. McNeil's over 100 yards rushing with 105.
Wow, 18 carries for 105. And then look at the comparison in the run game. Tom, you know me, I'm a little opinionated about the game of football, and I would have never thought that it would have tilted the way it has in the run game tonight. Credit the offensive line. That young man, the 5'7" dynamo, along with Mark Tyler, who's carried 13 times for 67 yards.
McNeel slapped down there by the center of the defensive line. And SC content now to run the ball and work on the clock, which is under 4 minutes. Well, they were 5-1 coming in, the Trojans, and everyone said, well, but it's a soft 5-1. Well, maybe not. And meanwhile, what must be the thoughts of Manti Te'o, who came so close to being a Trojan? He was in his high school, coming down to the final day to make your decision. He said he went to class. He told us yesterday the story. Dead Poets Society, the English teacher showed, and he identified with a character in there who had a big decision to make and was wavering. So he said, I'm going to pray on it. Went to the back of the classroom. About that time, his father called. Well, he sent the call to voicemail. Listened to it later. And his father said, I just wanted you to know the Notre Dame coaches called and said that they wanted to wish you well and good luck on making your decision. About that time, they sent for him from the coach's office, and he went to hear the coach, his head coach, talk. And it seemed like the conversation tilted again toward Notre Dame, and he saw it as a sign that he should go to Notre Dame. And he told us yesterday that he never had any second thoughts. And the South Bend Tribune had a front page story today as McNeel play is stopped by a whistle, or Tyler play is stopped by a whistle. Timeout was taken by SC before the play got underway. And the South Bend Tribune on the front page had a picture of him saying, what if, and showing him in a USC uniform. What if Manti had not changed his mind and gone to SC? It's got to be a bitter loss for him tonight. 2:41 to go. 3rd down and 4 facing the Trojans. They're about to snap Notre Dame's 4-game winning streak. Off to McNeel. Still fighting for yardage, the little guy. And scrambling for a 1st down. I think he got it.
Wow.
1st down and goal, Trojans.
That's an explosive kid. Curtis McNeel, 5'7", 180. Can't get over his lower body strength.
Now 1st and goal, just inside the 5-yard line. And the clock ticking down from 2:12. That time he was stuck in the backfield by Lewis Nix. Nix met McNeel when he got the handoff in the backfield, drove him back, and when Nix hits you, you know you're hit.
330 pounds now. Tom, I took some shots at this offensive line prior to the game. Left guard, true freshman Marcus Martin, dominating Schwinar at the point of attack. Again, the true freshman, Crenshaw High School, point of attack for Schwinar. Good block, good cut by Tyler, and finally, watch big fella get up to the 2nd level, get on the backer. Filer takes a bad angle. Curtis McNeel finishes the run, And this entire line has done a great job. The true freshman from Crenshaw High School, Marcus Martin, is 340 pounds. Good game, young man.
And last tackle of McNeel, only the second for a loss by Notre Dame tonight. Lynch wrapped him up.
My point had been, looking at tape of these guys, Tom, was that in past days at USC, Marcus Martin or John Martinez would have been groomed for 2 to 3 years behind veteran offensive linemen before their day would come. They're being forced to play earlier and perhaps coming of age right now. Marcus Martin at 340 pounds. They've got another kid named Andre Walker, who's the first guy in on either side, who's another 375-pound recruit out of Ohio. So they're playing these kids early because they don't have offensive line depth, and they seem to be coming of age.
Another handoff. McNeel is taking a few lumps. This has to be sweet for Lane Kiffin, who ruffled a few feathers at Tennessee and throughout the Southeastern Conference. Took the job at SC and took it under those difficult circumstances with some of the players leaving and then having a loss of scholarships as he discusses things with Pat Hayden. And Pat told us, he said, my relationship with Lane Kiffin has been nothing but the best. And this will be a big win for them tonight. Since they can't go to a bowl, since they can't compete for the Pac-12 championship, this in effect is their championship game under the lights in prime time, under a setting in which the opponent did their best to create problems, and they were able to overcome all those problems and post a big victory here today. Under the lights at night, first night game in 21 years. Matt Barkley was true to form, played an excellent game, not spectacular, just steady, without mistakes.
He is as advertised, Thomas, exactly. No sacks, no turnovers, very accurate.
No turnovers by SC and 3 by the Irish, very costly. Winning coach Lane Kiffin is with Alex.
So, Coach, you walk away from this with a win. We came into the night talking about how much you regretted the loss last year. What does this feel like tonight?
Well, it feels good. Credit to those guys. They played good. They played hard. Their defense stuck in there for them. Had a great kickoff return. So proud of our guys, you know, not having penalties, taking care of the football. You know, that's what you got to do. You better play defense and run the ball if you come on the road.
Let's talk a little bit about your offensive line, because I think a lot of people coming into this game would say that was your weak spot, maybe including you.
Yeah, you're right. They played really well today. That's a great run defense right there, led by a great middle linebacker. So our guys did a really good job. Proud of us. A lot of guys banged up, man. Guys going in there. It was really good to see. That's what Fight On's all about.
6-1, Lane. Congratulations.
All right, thank you.
And they are indeed 6-1 as the Notre Dame alma mater, the USC fight song. Both teams standing in front of their students. And it's a bittersweet sound, of course, for the Irish, who had put so much on this game. Prime time, under the lights, the towels handed out to everyone, the rock music playing between plays, trying to keep the crowd at high energy. All the best laid plans came apart once the game started. USC took the opening kickoff, drove easily down the field. At one time, they led 17-0. And the evening ends on a bitter note for the Irish fans. USC wins 31-17 over Notre Dame. Back for final thoughts in just a moment.